we can see what's going on with this presidential reality show. It's all a joke. It's all a farce. I personally believe when you look at the mainstream news media, you can't pretty much at this point in time believe anything that they put out. It's all lies. Assassination attempts, lies. Presidential runs, lies. It's all lies. And as I've stated before, and I'll state again, we're having a crisis of leadership. And this is exactly what the New World Order wants. We are basically, when you look at society today, we're losing confidence in those who are in the positions of power to lead us. Whether it's state, local, federal government, these people are incompetent, selfish, self centered. All they're interested in is power and obtaining more power and money off the backs of you. I remember watching a presidential reality show some years ago with Trump and how he railed against national government and he railed against the debt. And he said that the stock market was nothing but a Ponzi scheme and this, that, and the third. And then once he got into office, once that booger got into office, he changed his total tune. Do you remember Operation Warp Speed? With COVID, do you know who implemented that? Do you know who believed and implemented that? Yeah, your president, Trump. Are you familiar with the Agenda 2025? You guess who's interested in implementing all that stuff? You guessed it, President Trump. See, these people got you duped and deceived and believing that because they get up and they make these grand speeches uh, uh, saying that they love America and this is what they want to do for you, that they actually believe it. No, they don't believe it at all. They believe it because, or they tell you that because they're telling you what they want you to hear. But I say over and over again, you better watch what people do. I'm telling you, man, you better watch what people do instead of being so concerned about what they say and how eloquent they are and how charismatic they are when they get up in front of this camera and they just lie with such charisma, but they're all about themselves. They're all about lining their own pockets. They're all about enriching themselves at the cost and benefit, or at the cost and detriment of you. Um, we're having a crisis of leadership, ladies and gentlemen, and it's sad to this day and age that people still don't see it. I was watching the the Republican National Congress or convention or whatever they call it, and people, they had the Trump had the bandage on his ear, and then you had a whole bunch of people with the bandage on their ear. This is why I say these people, uh, it's all a bunch of bread and circus. People cannot lead themselves, so they look for people like this to lead them, and all they do is lead them into poverty and slavery. And it's sad. It really is sad. What do we need to be doing? Uh, People need to be developing a closer relationship with the Father. Personally, I believe that. I think people need to be coordinating and networking with other people of like mind. And just because people call themselves Christians, just because people call themselves Muslims, people just because they call themselves Israelites, that does not mean that they're in one mind and one spirit. Just because they call themselves something and you think that they are for righteousness and truth and justice and all this stuff, that doesn't mean that that's the case. Watch what they do. Watch the fruit of their lives. Watch the fruit of their leadership, and it'll tell you everything that you need to know. Watch the fruit, and it's just like going back to Trump, right? You watch the fruit of his leadership. He ran up the debt just like every other president ran up the debt. He was for big government and the new world order, just like that. See, they're all the same. They're all the same, whether Democrat or Republican. They're all the same. And you got Kamala Harris. I tell you, man, we are we. I tell you. we're in a bad state in this country. We're really in a bad state in this country. What's the solution? Get real innocuous, get real quiet, live a peaceful and set apart life. Um, Learn how to grow your own food, learn how to shoot, learn how to hunt, learn how to network with others of like mind. Learn these things. Learn these things because if you learn these things, it is going to shield you uh, as much as possible from this impending economic judgment that's taking place in this country right now. They're not talking about the Trumpvilles, the Hoovervilles, and the Bidenvilles that's taking place today. They're not talking about. They're telling you the exact opposite. They're telling you that everything is fine, and guess what Trump gonna get up in there and he gonna do? He gonna get up there. And he gonna tell you everything is great, and we're gonna make America great again, and we're gonna do it. And people gonna believe it. People gonna believe it. I tell you. These people are pathological liars. Learn how to be self sufficient. Learn how to network and coordinate with others of real like mind. Learn real skills. Develop real real friends, and acquire real assets. This is the only way that you're going to be able to survive as we move forward, because things are just getting a whole lot rougher. Things that it's going to just get harder and harder to do a whole lot more things. It's going to take a whole lot more Federal Reserve notes, and these jobs, they ain't paying well. These low slave wage jobs, I mean, you got folks paying working 2 and 3 jobs now just to survive and build it and make things happen. It pretty much is sad. It really is sad, but people do what they got to do. But ain't much of a life at all. If you're working 60, 70 hours a week, then you ain't got nothing to show for it. That they literally work you like this system's gonna literally work you like a dog, and pay you peanuts. This is why we always talk about start your own business, get out of debt, become self sufficient. I can tell you these things because I've done it myself. And there's not too many people out there that's talking like this. It really is sad. But for those who have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, you better start looking at that living example and duplicating this stuff. Go out there, swallow your pride, get up under a carpenter. The skilled trades is always something that's going to be good to get into. Get up under an electrician or a carpenter or master builder and learn the skill set, and then go out and start your own business. There's so few people that's interested in doing this thing. Learn how to set up and grow some food and set up a food stand. And grow it and distribute and sell that your excess to the local markets. These are going to be good businesses to start and to be in, but it's so few people want to do it. It's sad, but hey, your leadership has failed you, and they will continue to fail you. Because these Trumps and these Bidens and these Kamala Harris, they're all for themselves. They're all about enriching themselves on the backs of the American people. It's sad, but this is how we deal with it. But for very few people are going to have the ears to hear and the eyes to see what's going on and implement and actually be doers, and not hearers only. For the few out there, stay encouraged. It's amazing how we sit back in the country, right, and we're doing what we got to do, and I tell you, our heart doesn't flutter a bit. There's no fear that comes up on us at all, because it's just all a minstrel show. It's just a comedy show for us at this point in time. Why watch Netflix when I can watch and be entertained by fools that literally losing their minds, and that believe in lies, and that go after lies and suffer in their minds, in their spirits, in their flesh, because they refuse to see the truth. We got normalcy bias going on. We got groupthink going on. We got all these things going on. The masses, I tell you, they're going right over the cliff. But hey, you ain't gonna be able to save many people. There's only going to be a remnant, and I pray and hope that you are one. Shalom.